Scientists say the new July records were driven by human-caused global warming and was amplified by a naturally occurring climate pattern called El Nino. With that information at the top of mind, of course, we've been covering the progress of the first youth climate lawsuit to make it to trial. Back in June, we were left wondering the fate of the historic lawsuit as the judge deliberated her ruling. Now, history is being made again today as a judge sides with young activists. Ren Wadsworth joins us with more on what this means and what's happening next. Hey there, Ren.
Hi there yourself, John. You're absolutely right. Those young plaintiffs say state agencies were violating their constitutional rights to a clean and healthy environment by permitting fossil fuel development without considering the effects on the climate. And in a 103-page decision, the judge agreed. Now, to recap quickly, this all started back in 2020 when the plaintiffs filed their initial complaint. Fast forward 3 years, the held youth go to trial. The constitutional climate lawsuit was brought by 16 Montana youth to protect their equal rights to a healthy environment as they feel their government is continually promoting and supporting fossil fuel extraction and burning, in turn making the climate crisis worse. The youth didn't seek money in this case. Instead, today's ruling declared state laws prohibiting Montana agencies from considering climate change or greenhouse gas emissions when permitting fossil fuel activities as unconstitutional, meaning the legislative and executive branches will now be responsible to bring their policies into compliance. Chief Legal Counsel and Executive Director with Our Children's Trust said, quote, "Today's ruling in Montana is a game changer that marks a turning point in this generation's effort to save the planet from the devastating effects of human-caused climate chaos. This is a huge win for Montana, for youth, for democracy, and for our climate." While spokeswoman for the Montana Attorney General described the ruling as absurd, saying in part, "This ruling is absurd," but not surprising from a judge who let the plaintiffs' attorneys put on a week-long taxpayer-funded publicity stunt that was supposed to be a trial. Montanans can't be blamed for changing the climate. Even the plaintiffs' expert witnesses agreed that our state has no impact on the global climate. Their same legal theory has been thrown out of federal court and courts in more than a dozen states. It should have been here as well, end quote. With all of this said, the state still has 60 days to decide whether to appeal their decision to the Montana Supreme Court. And our sources say that the state is planning to appeal. But we will continue to look into just what this ruling means and its potential impacts. We will, of course, share our findings with you once they become available. Live in studio, I'm Ren Wadsworth. Back to you, John.
Hey, Ren, thank you very much for that update. To read the 103-page decision, statements in full, you can always head to our website, nonstoplocal.com.